President.
Good morning, respected VC sir, Registrar sir, Controller of Examination sir, other officials from Bardiyar University, Secretary of ASFASM, Vice President of ASFASM, patrons, Treasurer, and also the syndicate member of Bardiyar University, respected secretaries, members of ASFASM, respected principals and members of PwC. A very warm good morning to all of you. It's a great pleasure to invite you all for a webinar session with our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, who has been working tirelessly even during the COVID-19. We are very happy to welcome our Vice Chancellor, sir, and other officials, and also members of PwC and ASFASM for this webinar session. This session will be addressed by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, how we are going to address the higher educational institutions under Bardiyar University post-COVID. And the moderator of this session, Mr. T. Sedubadi, the Secretary of ASFASM, will raise questions to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, where we would also require some clarifications. I would also request the principals, if there is any questions, to be raised to the moderator, so that the moderator can ask the Vice Chancellor and get the questions clarified. I once again thank everyone for having accepted our invitation and also for joining us in this webinar session. I would also like to thank once more our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Amongst his busy schedule, he has agreed to address the secretaries and the principals of all the affiliated colleges of Bardiyar University. Thank you, everyone. Welcome you all. I would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to address the session.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First of all, I would like to thank the Association of Self-Financing Institutions for taking the initiative to start this kind of webinar session. In fact, post-COVID sessions that we are going to have now, going to discuss various issues, how we are going to into the modern era, especially the Industries 4 as well as Industries 5.
Sir, unga voice clear illa sir. Unga voice vandu clear illa sir.
Is it clear now?
It's better sir, much better.
Better.
Much better now sir.
Because I have come very close to the mic.
Yes sir, sir. Now
Yes, sir.
much better sir, much better sir.
எனக்கு இது கொடுப்பேன்ப்பா.
Sir, headset போட்டீங்கன்னா much better sir, correct sir.
So I'd like to
Super sir, super. Thank you.
welcome the principals and secretaries of the self-financing institution, aided colleges, autonomous colleges, government colleges, and other academic experts, and especially my colleagues who has joined with me, Registrar, Controller, then Deans, and Dr. Devi, and many other people who are great supporters for me to get into these things. At this time, I would like to give my special thanks to the Honorable Chancellor of our Bardiyar University, Governor of Tamil Nadu, Sri Banwarlal Purohit ji, our Pro-Chancellor, Mr. K.P. Anbalagan, then now secretaries, Mr. Anandrao Patil from Raj Bhavan, the Principal Secretary of Governor, then Apurva Madam, the Principal Secretary of Higher Education, who is giving me the free hand to implement many of the modern academic programs. Now, we are going to talk about the post-COVID-19, that is a session. Many people have come forward. You came to us. What we are going to do, how we are going to do. Let's come the other way around. Even before the COVID, our Chancellor, he made us to think about Vision 2030. What is the type of curriculum you are having, syllabus you are having, what is the job opportunities you are having now, and how will be the job opportunities after 3 years, after 6 years, after 10 years, up to 2030. Unless you prepare the students who will be suitable for the job of 2023, 2026, 2030, it is not possible for the academic institutions in Tamil Nadu or any other place to sustain. So we had the meeting in December in Raj Bhavan, Ooty, and we have been transformed by our Chancellor. The strong association of the Principal Secretary, Andhra Patel, and Deputy Secretary. We have been taught by the academic experts who are specialized in transformation to Industries 4, now also Industries 5. We went as a students, and 3 days, we have been taught and we have observed, digested, and we have been asked to prepare the roadmap. The roadmap, how to reach our targets in 2023, 2026, and 2030. It is not only the university departments, it's for the entire university, entire Bharatiya University. I have to prepare. So I'm very happy to tell you that with the support of my team of 2030, it was easy for me. We were the Bharatiya University is the first university to submit the Vision 2030, the roadmap, to the Chancellor's office. Then after that, there were a lot of discussion going on, and other universities are also preparing each one, and we also help some of the universities to prepare the roadmap, and it has to be consolidated. It has not come to that particular stage. Before that, we got COVID. Now, to get into the Industries 4, there are certain components. We have to incorporate to all the syllabuses, not only for the computer science or management, for the social sciences, for history, geography, zoology, botany. We have to go for that. So when we have to go for that, we have to incorporate certain subjects like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, cloud computing, automation, and several other, some of the subjects which will be helping the people to convert the syllabus to Industries 4. It is pre-planned. It is nothing to do with COVID. Whether the COVID has come or not, the Chancellor wanted this to be incorporated, to be implemented in the state of Tamil Nadu. The only problem that I would have faced was to convince you that, we are going to prepare like this. Our syllabus and curriculum involves a lot of, the teaching through the internet and online teaching, online educating the members of the institutions like principals, secretaries, students, faculty members. These are things we wanted to do. It would have been difficult for me to convince you. Now you are requesting us. So we have to thank the situation. I don't thank the COVID, but thank the situation that we all realize that, you have to move towards the next direction by using all the equipments, technology, and the software, etc., which is available out of Industries 4 as well as Industries 5. Industries 4 and 5, the difference is very little. It will be mainly of speed and energy. And with the evolution of 5G, it might come at any time. And also the quantum computing, we can convert the industries 4 to industry 5. This is prerequisite. Now the question is how much time you need to incorporate that. According to me, 2 months. We already started. And we prepare the strategy for preparing the board of syllabus, which I am going to have a meeting like this with the chairman of board of studies and also the stakeholders. It's very important for me. The stakeholders are happy with the Bharathiya University syllabus. It's easy for me to prepare the syllabus for the PG programs in the university. But I have to prepare the syllabus for about 130 institutions with various facilities, whether they will be able to take care of that kind of syllabus. If they are not able to take care of the syllabus to teach those courses, what I have to do for those institutions. These are all very important things. We already started preparing the syllabus for Industries 4, like many of the courses which has to be introduced to incorporate the Industries 4 as well as Industries 5. Now the question is, the most important thing, there are so many questions to be answered and all. The most important thing is, I came over here as a Vice Chancellor. The main problem which was focused by our affiliated institution is, sir, we have very good syllabus for autonomous institution, and the syllabus we are giving to the affiliated colleges are substandard. Okay, then I want to find out what is the reason for that. Number one, where is the control of board of studies? The UG board especially. There is a UG board which is prepared based on the seniority of some people. Seniority is very, very essential for that. And you put that, then there is no much of industrial participation. There is no much of stakeholders. Stakeholders include not only the affiliated institute, even the industries who are going to take them for the job, or the department who are going to take them for the job. Their requirement is very important. The need of the stakeholders are very, very essential for the board of studies to prepare the syllabus. So there was no control on that. They prepare the syllabus. I asked them how they prepare the syllabus. All the syllabuses will be prepared in one day, preferably one morning. They all will come. Most of them are known each other. They love each other. They believe each other. So whatever the papers they have already prepared by some people, it will be signed and they will go off. So the question is, who has verified? Is there industrial participation? The other stakeholders is the students. Is there any participation of the students? No participation. Then, is it verified by any authority, like some of the institution, relevant institution? Nothing. Then it comes to the standing committee. They are the members, they are not technical for all the subjects. They also sign. It goes to the syndicate, again limited member, limited time for passing this thing, it is passed. There is no control of any of these things. Now, one aspect is what kind of syllabus we are going to form is one. The other one is how we are going to form. Number one, for each board of studies, concerned dean has been put as in charge of that to make sure that they are preparing the right kind of syllabus, right kind of people are incorporated. And based on the seniority, if there is the number of people are not sufficient to prepare the good curriculum, there will be VC nominee. And the institute like this for certain subjects like hotel management or some other things which are not conventional for all the academic institutions, we feel you can tell we can involve a number of people for preparing the syllabus in the board. The board will be very big. There will be Vice Chancellor nominee, who is from the university, who is teaching the PG. There will be alumni, like what you are having. Then there will be a minimum of 3 industrial experts who knows what is the need of the industries when they are going for that. And the Chancellor's office, they are very particular, especially Andhra Patil sir, when he saw the paper news, he thanked me, he told, you involve students also, which is being done routinely in autonomous institution. Autonomous institution, they call the students, bright students. They tell, sir, this is the one, this is obsolete. This is very tough, sir. And most of the things are not needed by us. They listen to that. And they prepare the syllabus. And most of the autonomous institution syllabus are student friendly. Now, the syllabus that we are going to make, it is going to be student friendly. After having this kind of people who are going to be involved in the preparation of our board of studies, you can also question how each board will be knowing about Industries 4, Industries 5. There is a separate group for that, our Industries 4 and Industries 5. We are writing even textbook on that, Industries 4 and 5. The Education 4, Curriculum 4, which will be suitable for our country. This we initiated. I wanted to donate a book to the Chancellor in Industries 4 and Education 4. When we are looking for that, none of the books are available. No book is available on Education 4, which will suit to Indian scenario. Then I requested Dr. Devi and the group, why don't we write our own textbook on Industries 4 and Education 4, Curriculum 4, and even we can take the help of affiliated institutions, autonomous institution, and we only know what we need. When you prepare the food for your home, it is you who know what is the liking by every members of the family. So we started preparing. We completed nearly about 60%. Even now, many of the people from the other academic institutions, they are welcome for these things. We'll give you the details about that book to all the people at the end of this meeting. Then we take care of educating your students in Industries 4 and Industries 5. That can be done by your online teaching. Any one of the media that we decide will go for online teaching. You need not have to bother about that. And these Industries 4 and Industries 5 related things will be taught from Bharathiar University online. And the ways and mode and all, we can decide. You can also question, do you think that only in Bharathiar University you are having the expert? No, there are many institutions, including your affiliated institutions, autonomous institutions, everybody is available. And I'm going to involve all the people. Then minimum eligibility for this thing, that is a big thing. There will be some stalwarts, they decide what is the eligibility for your students for BCom or MBA or BBA or something like that. No, it has to be decided by the stakeholders. You are only going to decide the minimum eligibility. Our CDC is over, that we are going to have the special CDC which will be addressing all these things. You might like to add some new courses based on the need, based on the demand, because things are changing day by day. When we started our roadmap, it was Industries 4. Now we are talking about Industries 5. You might have to change the syllabus once in a year, or even it might be once in 6 months or so. Every semester we might have to change every year, and that should be a provision for that. And we should give the opportunity to the students to have those things. Then the next thing, now the syllabus is ready, the board has approved, and CDC has approved, and syndicate has approved, that is okay. Before taking to the CDC, the syllabus will be circulated to all the affiliated institutions and your autonomous institutions, and also some of the subject experts. Nowadays, a lot of, all the universities abroad, they started online courses. Good syllabus is available. Our syllabus will be having the link. Whatever the link they are giving, we are giving, or the reference book we are giving, it should not be, earlier than 2015. I have seen some syllabus which is giving the reference of 1955, 1956, because it has come from several, Board of Studies decades, without even changing, it has come. Now the totally changing atmosphere we are going to have. I need a full support of all of you. It's not only the university. You are the one who is going to use it. I need your full support. And I have a very good syndicate members, a good combination of syndicate members from the affiliated colleges, the principal of the college, and our own people, and very good thing. I got full support. I got full support of our teachers association, our non-teaching association, everybody is. When you want to do the good things, all associations are for me. I am very happy with that. Then the major changes that we are going to have in our curriculum and syllabus is credit transfer system. The credit transfer system, there are some students, they want to learn a particular subject which is not available in that particular institute. I'm very happy that Coimbatore is the one. There are many institutes, they are having 4 or 5 institutions. Some are autonomous, some are affiliated, some are deemed to be university. They'll be having all the things. Now, to start with, I would like to have the transfer of the credit only among the affiliated institutions, which includes our autonomous institutions also. Suppose somebody who is studying there, that institute is not having the facility for a particular subject or not having the strength, they want to go to the nearby institute, autonomous institute, we will give the benefit for that. We will give a suitable code for that. That's the reason our controller is also here. And we can transfer the credit. They can do the project work in the PG or any one other program in some places, and the credit will be transferred. It is absolutely, there is no problem for credit transfer. Not only for that, even for taking the credit of some of the courses, you are having it in collaboration with some universities in abroad. Right now, we are having Indo-Canadian link. We have this one, a link with Melbourne University, and we are having some of the universities in USA, UK, and many other universities for our cyber security. They have come forward for teaching as well as for, making the students to do the project work online. And those areas we can do online project work, but not for all the places like, science, like, biotechnology, zoology, botany, it is not possible. Then we'll be having for that. So suppose, if you're having a valid MOU jointly signed with any foreign university, and if your student is able to do the project work over there for the PG, and it might be quite possible for many blended programs also. We are going to have the blended program, and they can do part of the work in abroad. Now you can ask the question how they will go. They need not have to go. They will teach from there through online. I already cleared the budget for 2021, incorporating about 4 crores for investing into the education 4 and 5 incorporated, where the university will be equipping themselves for the online teaching, both for our students as well as for training our faculty members of affiliated institutions, students of affiliated institutions, and we are going to have the smart classroom and various other things needed for that. Now, if the person is doing the course in any one of the affiliated colleges, including any one of the institute abroad where the MOU has been signed along with Bharathiar University, or if you have already signed, you can also be the party for that, and we can also sign as a part of that, and it will be easy for us to accommodate that. That will be one major changes that we would like to have. Then once if this curriculum is ready, then we are going for implementing. For implementing, we will take full care of the industries 4 and 5 related things from Bharathiar University, and we can also give the option to some of the institute whether they would like to adapt now or not. The next question is, many people ask, after post-COVID, there will be a lot of job loss. Now, I would like to tell as a scientist, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It is a matter of converting one form of energy to another form of energy. When there is a problem in some industries, there are some industries they are doing well. Amazon has declared 27% increase in their product marketing. That means what? Who is going to manufacture that 27%? If you are losing one job, you are going to get another job. Now the university and affiliated institution, they should come forward, making our students having creative thinking and adapting themselves for the modern scenario. They should not worry, they should not bother about what is going to happen in the future. So that should be the part of the curriculum. And more than the curriculum, after the curriculum, we are going to have 2 job-oriented certificate courses jointly conducted between your institute and an industry. Suppose if you are having the capability, we can make arrangement. Nowadays, you yourself ask for a lot of online courses and all. You go for the joint certification courses online between you or us or any one of the autonomous institution and an industry. The role of industry is very, very important. You can ask a question, what about the social sciences? You find out who is the end user of social science students. You put them in your board of studies. They will be equivalent to your industry. So we have to have these job-oriented certificate courses, at least 2, and they can have the option of N number also. Some of them are the MOOCs courses, SWAYAM courses, and so many things are there. And we can have the Bharatiya University online courses also that you'll be having. And if you are having good course in any one of the autonomous institutions, we will adopt it. We will recognize that. And there is no, freezing or ceiling limit for the knowledge. The knowledge is there anywhere. We are very much interested to tap the knowledge from any part of the world, the globalization of the education. Now, these job-oriented certificate courses, suppose if they fail, we will not stop the degree. That will be add-on courses. And once if they are having the job-oriented certificate courses along with the industries, our university also identified a number of industries in various fields to assist you. And they themselves will take the students for the job requirement. If somebody is doing BCom, you can do a job-oriented certificate course in catering technology or some other technology, management science or something like that. So they will be prepare themselves for the course other than their core. So if one industry is not doing well, the other industry is going to have better or doing much better than the one last. You might be knowing about the automobile industries. Many automobile industries, they started closing. Why? After 10 years, you are not going to have diesel or petrol because we are using the fossils as the energy for our automobile industries. What is going to happen after 10 years, 20 years? After 10 years, if there is no diesel, petrol available, what these automobile industries will do? They shut down. But that is not the end of that. There is no closure of automobile industry. People go for the solar energized vehicles. Then other energy like hydrogen. Even people are working on how to separate hydrogen and making in storage is the main problem for the hydrogen. And even you can convert water into energy. So that's why I told energy can neither be created nor destroyed. So there is no question of losing the job. Our students are having all the opportunity. You have to make the students employable, taking care of the education which is needed in 2023, 2026, 2030. That is the vision of the Chancellor. It is nothing to do with COVID. But COVID has made us to make me to convince you easily. Here it is not like that, I'm convincing you, you have come forward and, you are asking us. So my thing is the Bharatiya University will do many things where we will make the students viable. So many other activities in terms of social activities. Okay. Now you can also question how you are going to prepare your faculty members for the new syllabus. You already prepared this one, entered MOU with UiPath for the robotic process automation. And I signed the MOU on behalf of all the affiliated institutions. It is, we did by digital signature. I have already done. So this will be useful for training the faculty members, and we'll be having an online training program of various kinds and making our people prepare themselves to handle students. More than that, we have to make the faculty members get used to the modern technology, adopting the modern environment, and also not get fear of that. And today, the major fear for most of our people, either in your affiliated institute or our colleges, our university, they are a little bit fear of the latest advancement. And most of the teachers those days, they prepare the notes that will be sufficient, that will be coming for at least 20 years or 30 years. Unless they lose it, they will be using it. No, you can't have it. Even they can prepare the notes, in terms of they have to provide the, references as well as the link for the students to visit and have a better one. So we will be training the faculty members, we will be training the people, and you will be able to bring the good ambience with the modern scenario, especially when you have come forward and trying to have the best out of that. That is a motto of our governor, that's a motto of our pro-chancellor, and they are strongly supported by the principal secretaries, Dr. Andhra Patel, as well as Apurva Madam. And one important things I would like to tell, especially for the affiliated institution, the first semester of all the affiliated institution has to follow the Tansky syllabus. You can ask what is the specialty in Tansky syllabus. They would like to add more into the language skill, especially English, and making the students employable in terms of at least language. If they are good in other things, their language also should be good. That's one they are going to add. Autonomous institution, it is a voluntary, whether they want to adopt it or not, they can decide on that. And nothing is, compulsion. We have to work together. And I am listening to all of you. I would like to listen to all of you. In the modern world, we might take one decision today. Tomorrow itself, we might change it based on the need, based on the requirement, based on the stakeholders. So these are the strategies of Bharathiar University. And you can ask, what is your contribution in terms of COVID-19? I used to work for 14 hours a day. Now I'm working at least 8 hours. I come up to the office every day. And most of the people, those who want to come, they're all busy in submitting the proposal. 30th is the last date. About 20 proposals gone, mainly for the drug development and diagnostic. All are major projects. And also the herbal mosque development. All the development activities are going on from home. And once if you have to prepare the electrospinning and preparing the mosque, you need the people to come, the students have to come. We are all waiting for that. We are all waiting for the funding agencies to come for that. And lot many things can be done by the institution also, which I will be telling at the end. I am happy for the good initiative, and all our activities will be done in association with you and association with the government of Tamil Nadu and our Chancellor's office. Thank you. Might be open for questions or something.
So, should we open up the questions, sir, from everybody?
No problem. I'll sip a cup of coffee, that's all.
Madan, can you hear me?
Yes, Ajit, go ahead.
Yeah. So thank you, Vice Chancellor, sir, for your inspiring speech and also telling us what to do. Our Association Secretary, Mr. T. Sedubadi, has got few questions to ask our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Before that, I've just got one a question to ask the Vice Chancellor, and then I pass on to our Secretary. The first thing is, VC sir, generally for admissions for affiliated colleges and autonomous colleges, the eligibility norms have been fixed for admissions in various courses. For example, in computer science, we can, our students are allowed to attend bridge course. If they have studied commerce, they can attend bridge course and then join computer science. In this scenario, in this post-COVID, where we are also seeing a lot of admission drop going to happen in many colleges, because financial crunch will be there, definitely. And since the state government and the UGC has always recommended interdisciplinary approach, where a student who has studied commerce should study computer science, a student who has studied computer science should study some other subject, where interdisciplinary approach is being asked to follow. We would request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to consider the request of the affiliated institutions to allow +2 as a basic minimum for admissions to any program. If they have not studied that program, maybe we can have a bridge course conducted by the affiliated college and a certificate given to the university in this regard. This would be a great help to all the affiliated 130 institutions in admitting students in various programs, sir. This is our humble request, sir, so that
this will be good to you, but bad to the students and the parents indirectly. The reason is,
yes, sir.
There are some courses you need mathematics.
Yes.
Without mathematics, you cannot have it.
Yes, sir.
I have been asked to, the scientist who was to get Nobel Prize, but he could not get, G.N. Ramachandran.
Yes, sir.
No, I went for an interview. I cleared all the channels. I went for the interview.
Yes, sir.
I did my interview well.
Yes, sir.
And finally, G.N. Ramachandran told, gentleman, I'm happy that, you are prepared well for the interview, but
Yes,
I will not select you. Why, sir? You don't know mathematics knowledge. Because unless you have the mathematics knowledge, it is not possible.
So
Then
we are
all your bridges,
yes, sir.
that will collapse during the training itself. See, for BCom, BBA, and some other things, we can have those things.
Yes, sir.
There are certain subjects
Yes, sir.
where the mathematics is mandatory.
Yes, sir.
You cannot have it. See, I am asking our Dean CDC is here.
Yes,
You can have a special sitting for some of the courses. You can
Yes,
write
sir.
for us. We
Yes,
will
sir.
consider that, and also you are going to have a special CDC.
Yes, sir.
Because of this year, you might like to have drop some courses, and you can add some new courses also.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
in some of the courses, you can also jointly do with us, with our
Yes,
some
sir.
other department, that we can decide.
Yes,
But
sir.
if you tell +2 is the minimum standard,
Yes,
the
sir.
person who doesn't have the science knowledge, and
Yes,
he is, walking over the bridge
Yes, sir.
and coming to botany or zoology
Yes.
BSc,
Yes, sir.
he will fail most of the time, and even if he pass, he will not get job anywhere. Even if he is getting the job, the industry where he is going, that will not be available on that.
Yes, sir. So we will give you the list of courses, sir. We
List
will
of
give you
courses,
some. Yes,
we
sir.
will form a team,
Yes.
scientific
Yes,
team,
sir.
not a
Yes.
team of promoters. See, you might
Yes,
be
sir.
interested to have better intake, but
Yes, sir.
we are answerable to the students as well as the parents. They should get job,
Yes, sir.
and you are also party for that. So
Yes, sir.
definitely we will relook into that.
Yes.
But definitely we cannot put +2 is a minimum standard for any one other UG program.
Yes, sir. I would request our Secretary, sir, T. Sedubusi, sir,
Yes.
to go ahead with the questions. Sedubusi, sir, your mute, mic is in mute.
Okay, he can unmute.
Yeah. Sedubusi, sir, you can go ahead, sir.
Thank you, President, and I thank the Vice Chancellor for his wonderful presentation. And we have collected questions from the various members. Let me present to you, sir. And question number one, the UGC guidelines emphasizes the relevance of online education in future. How far our university is equipped to face the challenge?
Your question is how we are going to exclude the things in terms of equipped to face.
Online
I
education.
told most of the points to be covered. I answered this question that we have already prepared the roadmap. It is exactly fitting into the teaching on education 4.5, which involves quite a bit of online teaching, and will permit you to go for online teaching in the area where you are not having the expertise, because today you have some expertise. When you revise the curriculum and syllabus, that you are not going to have the expertise for some of the areas, we are not going to insist you to ask you to fill the gap by, putting the new faculty members or something. Either we will educate you or faculty members to take care of that, or we can have the online courses for your students, some of the subjects, and we are ready with these things. Even I got the finance committee approval also to get the equipments, especially the teaching aids for taking care of the indices 4 and 5.
Largely, that question was already covered by sir in the previous presentation, I think.
I covered most of the things.
Second question.
Yes, sir.
Say
Or
this,
I
sir.
will tell the answer, you frame the question further.
Sedubusi, sir, unmute பண்ணுங்க அவரோடது. Madan, sir.
Yeah, unmute பண்ணிட்டேன். அவர்தான் mute பண்ணிட்டார். நம்ம unmute பண்ணிட்டேன். Go ahead.
Thank you. And question number two, UGC has given liberty to the vice chancellors and universities to come up with innovative strategies in fixing academic calendar and setting up examination system. What kind of changes or innovations can we expect from Borlia University? And also, would you be allowing us to run the examinations online at this COVID period?
See, the matter is very simple. Online exams not possible. That, we have to go for a long way to start in some of the certificate courses and all. Definitely not this time. And we already prepared the timeline for our examination, like, in July. In July 1st, it starts with end semester students, and non-stop, if necessary, it will be morning and evening. And this evening, we are going to send the circular, what we are exactly going to follow for our examination.
Okay. And question number three, shall I proceed?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. One of the key guidelines is equipping existing facilities in ICT. Can university initiate an online course to educate our faculties in this regard and guide them to new openings?
Yes, sir.
Thank
Yes.
you. And question number four. Sir, committee has observed the possibility of the Skype and other video conferencing for Viva and research assessments. Why can't we think of utilizing such monitoring options even after COVID days for research scholars instead of traveling and meeting guides periodically, which may affect their regular teaching engagements?
I fully agree with you, and we have also decided, the controller circular will come in the evening.
Okay.
So not only COVID time, even afterwards.
Excellent.
The only thing is we want the student, because some other things, if the students are not there, with all our equipments, and they might even wear the mask, They will tell even the normal time, I know I am wearing the mask. We don't know who is the student and all. The student has to come to the university or your institute, and the examiner need not have to come. That will be cut short, and it will be minimizing my expenditure towards the travel expenditure also, and also the risk of travel by the examiners. Definitely we do that now as well as afterwards.
Thank you, sir. Thank
And
you.
one more thing in this question, here in all the places we tell the dean presence is mandatory. It's okay for the university departments, dean is here around, and for the other colleges, the principal can authorize, or you can request, you will authorize somebody to come in the nearby vicinity to oversee the PHU examination. It is flexible.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And question number 5. 6 days working pattern and limited days to cover syllabi and post-COVID stresses. It is a high time to train and equip our faculties and students emotionally. UGC even observed the importance of making mentor-mentee system effective. As an educationist, what do you advise in this regard?
Number one is 6 days. You can make it into 6.5 days. 6 days, you can make it into 6.5 days. That half day, you can use it for some of the online courses and all. The students can, come and learn. Okay. Suppose if you are not agreeing, then 6 days. Then the mentor-mentee system. It is not the new one. It is not the new thing that UGC is telling now. This is a, recommendation of the old education policy, which has been implemented in many institutions. After that, they have forgotten. I'll give you the example of Anna University we were having in 1986. After that, in 1995 and all, we have forgotten about that system. Now again, they will do it. So the mentor-mentee system, I would like to recommend that I have told when I was in Anna University as Vice Chancellor. It is not necessary the mentor should be only your faculty. Most of the time, they will have some agreement. Okay, I am mentor, you are mentee. Some smooth going will happen after some time. And places like Coimbatore, you have a huge number of retired people who is having a lot of free time at home. They want an opportunity to come as a mentor for the institution. And especially for the engineering institution, I know I did the survey, a lot many people were interested. And you find out who are the people, your alumni, and you are some of the educationists, and some of the people, some of the psychologists also, some doctors, and make the link between these two people. Their contact shall be through online also. And the mentor, if you are mentee, if you are just going to involve the industry people, then the retired people and other people, other than the faculty. Faculty shall be the supervisor of this mentor and mentee. If you put the faculty only as a mentor, after 1 year, they'll come together and nothing will happen. And let them be the, monitoring the mentor-mentee, and you bring the mentor from outside, that will be innovation. Suppose if you bring a mentor from an industry, the student will be tuned towards industries, and even he might be able to get some job for him. So I fully agree with your mentor-mentee system. You would like to implement based on your recommendation in Bharatiya University. I strongly recommend that you also implement that. But the mentor, only your faculty members, is going to be failure after 1 year. That's my view.
Sir, sorry for interruption, sir.
No
VC
problem.
sir, even today there was an article in Times of India where they said that a college in Chennai, where they are having 10,000 students, one day one set of students will be asked to come, and the next day one set of students will be asked to go online to maintain enough social distance. Could we also think of something like that so that we are able to maintain social distance and also continue our academic sessions.
My advice is because of the time constraint, you can just divide them into batches. You start the first batch by 6 o'clock, second batch by 11 o'clock, third batch by 4 o'clock. That will solve the problem.
Sir, it may not be possible in institutions where students travel long distances and where there are already a shift system. In aided college, morning they have an aided program. Afternoon, they have got a self-financing program, sir. Even in the self-financing college, traveling and coming may find it difficult. Faculty going home, they will find it difficult. So maybe some programs to avoid crowding in the college. If today's Times of India, in fact, from the education also, they have said that this could be also considered to avoid crowding in the colleges till we come out of this issue, till we find a vaccine or a medicine, VC, sir.
I think we have to listen to the policymakers like Higher Education Department, because the number of days, working days is very important. Suppose if you make alternate days, they will be losing.
No, sir, they are online, sir. They are not, they would be online. They would
Only
be
online.
attending classes. Yes, sir. They will be attending classes from home. How they have declared now post during lockdown, government has said that lockdown period is considered as a working day because they are working online.
See,
So that could be also considered as an classroom teaching, sir.
see, this is meant for the lockdown period. I think we are going to start only after the lockdown period is over.
Yes,
And we will decide at the time what kind of strategies we can have.
Yes, sir.
Anything is flexible. Based on the
Yes.
need-based we can have.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And the next question, President. As we are the university with good ranking and having a visionary leader like our Vice Chancellor, Professor Kauliraj, can't we think of becoming a model university in dealing post-COVID scenario with by presenting a dedicated and plan and scheme immediately?
You already planned the scheme. Then we have to implement only. And regarding the model and all, others have to tell, and we should not tell. Means you and me both are same, and let us work together. Let us make it as a good institution. Let others tell that it's a good model, because the minute you tell model by ourselves, the other people will not accept it. We are also model. We are also model like that. So let us go for a better one. But we agree with your plan, and if we are able to implement our plan, now it is possible. Definitely, it will be a model. Especially for Vision 2030, we were the first one. We were the first one to prepare the textbook for that. There is no textbook. You can talk about roadmap, but the road is okay. But how to drive in the road? Driving is very important. If you are having good road, and if you don't have the driver, you can't use it. So now we are preparing. We are preparing the roadmap, in implementation of the roadmap. How we are going to make our teachers to understand Education 4, and how we are going to make them to those things. So that strategies. So I'm happy to hear about that.
Thank you, Professor. Sir, global connectivity and exposure was one of the key highlights of your vision. In upcoming world, mobility will be a big challenge. Why can't we channelize exchange programs using technological platforms and avail the resources to all institutions?
Definitely, that is the only solution now. Whatever the budget I got it for international travel, I got 2 crores for our faculty members for going from here to that. That will be used for the equipments, which will be useful for our online. So that will be used for that. And that is the only solution for that. You have given the answer also.
Thank you, Professor.
Sir, I have, okay, go ahead, sir. So, okay, I have one quick question, sir. As you mentioned in your speech, the curriculums and the update in curriculums are very dynamic these days. The system is changing so fast. that we need to accommodate new courses, new partnerships very quickly. In that process, in our affiliating process, takes quite a long time. Can we look at a means where it can happen round the cycle without having, very long periods of deadlines and things like that? Can we have a system to say?
I'll
Sorry,
simplify.
sir.
I'll simplify.
Okay.
I'll simplify.
Okay,
Once, you know,
because we need a
once-
small gestation time on that. Yeah.
Once if your papers are excellent, and what AICT is doing, you have to upload your documents if they are
Right.
convinced online.
Right, sir.
You are given. They are not coming for the visit and all, so there will be rapid change in that also.
That's great, sir. Perfect, sir. Because
Thank you, sir.
today we are forced to give programs which are required. So that's required, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madan. And regarding we had a question on job market for the students, since because Vice Chancellor sir has explained very clearly about that. Let me move to the next question. Every globally ranked universities are the centers of excellence, mainly with a good track record of research and development. UGC demands faculties with PhD, but research openings are very rare and hard to find guides. Will the Honorable Vice Chancellor can initiate research-friendly policies and maximize the openings and minimize the entry requirements and digitalize the monitoring and evaluations?
There are three questions on that. Number one, minimizing the entry. That is not my, purview, because it is a policy which has to come from University Grants Commission, then to the government, and they have to give. So I cannot comment anything on that. But I can tell that, a minimum PhD is needed because a lot many PhD people are there. Only thing is, you can make them more effective in terms of their knowledge of implementing to that. Then the next one is digitalizing and monitoring the evaluation. Many people have started. Many people have started even 10 years back, 15 years back, and it has not come out well because there are two ways of digitalizing. Number one, you can go for artificial intelligence and you can find out the evaluation. Still, it has to be accepted by the people. As such, you go for first valuation, second valuation, third valuation. The next one is you scan it and ask the people to evaluate from home. Most of our people, they claim, they are not used to seeing the screen for more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And, we cannot evaluate like that. So digitizing, unless you go for the online examination at this stage, I don't want to comment anything on that. It's a long way to go. At least we can start for the certificate courses, not for the regular program. And in Bharatiya University, I'm very happy that, there's no, major problem in our examination system. If there is anything, any lacuna also, when you tell, we will just rectify that. At least, digitizing you can digitize the question, but not the evaluating the answer script. People tried and they are not happy. Many people are having big business also on that, making the university to go for, evaluation and a big thing. At least I will not do that.
Thank you, Professor. And next question. If Bharatiya University can be digitalized for research and other areas, we can avoid principals, teachers, and scholars traveling a long distance to the university, and there will be a better transparency, probably by an ERP or something like that.
You cannot digitalize the research. See, in terms of the research, in the field of computer science or management or something, people are doing like that only. And I have not seen any of the people visiting the guide very frequently. If they are part-time, they have to come at least once or twice in a week to the guide. How many days?
2 days in a month.
2 days in a month. And most of the time, that is only in the paper, and we do whatever the technology you are telling. And they are doing. But, some of the laboratory work is involved. we can't do anything. They have to come and they should have the hands-on experience. Even if you have the digital method, like, in the medical colleges, in anatomy, they don't give the body for the dissection. They go for the, whatever the simulation. And when they become the doctor also, they will not be able to have the right kind of things. And there is a problem also. And definitely we will digitize some of the areas like mathematics and the areas where the laboratory work is not involved. That we can do.
In fact,
Which is already being done in most of it.
yes, sir. And even UGC is discussing about virtual laboratories to conduct examinations, these practical examinations.
See, UGC is telling several things. Then you might be seeing the education policy. Education policy 2013, before implementing, it has come to 2018 or 19. Now, are we going to implement? Cluster college, you yourself can conduct the exam. And the next one, the next education policy, even the self-evaluation of the students also might come. But the question is it practically feasible? If you tell that you are going to conduct the exams and you are going to give the degree, are they going to come? It will become like a deemed university. Why people are preferring autonomous institutions? Because of the flexibility. But why the autonomous institution, they want the stamp of Bharatiya University? Because, there are so many things. And some of the autonomous colleges, they feel once if they get autonomous, we should not turn towards that side. It's not like that. They are under our full control. We are just giving the liberty because of, with the confidence that, the institution will be doing well. The UGC has given the privilege to go to any autonomous institution and look into the matter. Otherwise, we can prepare empty paper and you take the signature of the Vice Chancellor and take it to the autonomous institution, they can take the degree. It's not like that. We are equally responsible and party for maintaining the quality of the autonomous institution. I am very happy most of the autonomous institutions, they are doing well. But one or two, there are some variations that we are making it all right.
Thank you, Professor.
So, if there is no other question, I would like to request some of the points as a request of Bharatiya University for the affiliated institution to go for the social commitment during the COVID time. You can go for selecting the cheaper and best cloth mask to the sanitary workers and the poor in your area, which I know most of you are doing. You are giving the food also, all those things. This is one of the requests from the university. Then, protective personal equipment to health workers can be given. But I'm not the subject expert, what are the protective personal equipment, but most of you know about that. Then the easiest thing will be providing some of the multivitamins which are very cheap and other nutritional drinks for the risk group, those who are in the risk group like healthcare workers and all. Now during this time you can ask the students in that particular region, they can take care of that and they can do that. So many people, even the students will be able to, they will be volunteer to spend the money also. You can make it like your activities. Then making and distributing sanitizer and disinfectant. There are many sanitizers and disinfectants. It can be made in your institute itself. And some of the students who are nearby, some of the department people or your faculty members, they can do it and they can supply to the nearby place. It is not necessary. We are having 130 institutions. If each one, they take care of that particular vicinity, a lot many things can be done. It will be minimizing the workload of our healthcare people. Then helping the surveillance by gathering information on potential COVID cases through our students living in their respective areas. You can sensitize your students. Find out is there any COVID affected people or high risk people who might have migrated recently to that particular area. These are things, it doesn't have much money, but you can easily do that. Nowadays it is very easy. You go to the helpline and you can make the information that will be useful to the other healthcare people. And if there is a possibility, you can provide the thermometers to the poor living in the risk zone and in some of the zones, thermometers may be provided. These are caused by the discount about using the mask after how they are destroying. So some people have to be sensitized, and for that destruction, you don't need not to do destroy that, but just sensitize one man to destroy the used mask. Then spreading the awareness messages through pamphlets and local campus, which is available in a number of things, and more than anything else is ever done. But these are all in the media. It's not going as a pamphlet. In some of the areas, you can just print and you can distribute also through your students. These are the few things I wanted to add since it is a COVID-19 time.
Sir, Nirmala Devi Madam of GRD has a question on provisional affiliation. I'll open the mic for her. Let me open the mic for her. Dr. Nirmala Devi Madam, please, you can go ahead and speak.
Hello.
Yes, madam, please go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, we are hearing you, sir, madam.
Sir, I would like to know how we can proceed with the admission process for the next academic year before getting the continuation of provisional affiliation, and how this process would happen, and when is this process is going to be planned?
This is for the new courses?
Existing course. Last year we have got approval. Continuous
Sir,
provisional affiliation. PG course.
These are the easy thing, and
Okay,
we'll be
sir.
able to solve the problem. You please send your request in terms of letters so that it will be taken care. Not only for you, even for others. There will be.
Yes, sir. This is common for many of the institutions. And
We will do that. You
Okay.
can put this kind of common question in the written form by email. We
Okay,
will
sir.
address all those things, and we will minimize. And
Okay.
we will minimize the visit also. And if there is a possibility, we can just ask you to go, and you will come in between, and you will tell if there is any shortage, we will ask you to improve.
Okay, sir. Thank you so
Perfect,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Thank you so much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President. President.
Yes, that's a very important question which Madam had asked. As VC sir said, we can go ahead and maybe like how they give in AICT continuation affiliation based on our report or something, that maybe the administration can decide. I think that's a very pertinent question, and I think VC sir has correctly answered it also. Thank you very much, VC sir.
May I request our panelist, Mr. Subramania, Principal Subramania, to give the vote of thanks.
1 minute. Any other questions, sir? Madan sir, anyone? Madan, any questions?
Ajit, there are a lot of people who have raised hand. It's our choice whether to make
A lot of
them
people
ask.
have raised. Okay.
About 7 questions are there.
Okay. Can ask VC sir whether he can take it, then maybe.
I
Sir,
can
can
take it,
we?
there is no problem.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I can open the mic for one Mr. Somu, who has raised the hand. Allow the mic. I don't know what the question is. I'm opening the mic. Somu sir, go ahead.
Mr. Somu.
Mic இது பண்ணுங்க.
Mic unmute பண்ணிருக்கேன்.
Unmute the mic and you can proceed, Somu sir.
Sir, good morning, all of you.
Good morning.
Sir, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Vice Chancellor, sir, good morning. Sir, my question is with regard to the new courses to be started. We have already applied for new courses, and the constituting commission and inspecting the colleges and granting permission will take time. Please consider granting affiliation order, and then constituting committee. You can visit at any time during the semester time.
I already told to Nirmala's question the same thing.
Yes.
Because
Same.
when there is a need, we will allow you based on the infrastructure provided by you. See, for starting any course, you see the strength of your paper, then we will allow you to do that. And in between, we will come and we will ask you to improve the facilities. Suppose if it is not improved next year, then it will be cancelled afterwards.
Okay.
Perfect, sir. One last question we will take, sir. One Mrs. Nazima is waiting since the start, so I'll open the mic. Let it be the last question, and then we can probably close the session, I would think. I'll open the mic for Ms. Nazima. Nazima, go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
So I'm confident that under your leadership, the curriculum of affiliated colleges will take a new shape. And thank you for that, sir. We would like to know, sir, whether trainings will be conducted by Bharatiya University for the academics of how to teach an engaging lesson as well. Because totally the curriculum is going to change, updated syllabus, industry in part with the industry, then the faculties will not be updated to that particular extent. So what are we going to do? How are we going to face this challenge, sir?
We have already planned the training program. I don't remember the date, and we will give you by the end of this meeting. We'll send by 20 May 20. We are starting online.
Okay, sir. Okay, that's great, sir. That's really very great. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes. See, not only that, if there is any question, you please send it by email. Everything will be addressed, and I will involve each one of you. And in any one of the subject, if you feel that an expert is there, and you will put them in the Board of Studies as a Vice Chancellor's nominee. There is a provision for anything.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And then I would like to tell, though my colleagues have not talked to that, I wanted them to be there because whatever the point I'm telling, I discussed with them, and also, what I talked, and they'll be giving full support to the entire program. I would like to thank our registrar, controller, then our dean, CDC, then Dr. Devi, who is taking care of our vision, Chancellor Vision 2030. And she is also organizing writing the textbook on that. If anybody is interested, they can join with that. And we've already sent the roadmap. I'm requesting her to send once again, because sometime now, you might have left it somewhere. We'll again send the roadmap for Bharatiya University. That means it is inclusive of you. And whatever things I do it over here, there is involving all of you, including us. Yes. Thanks for the association. I don't know how to that. I always call it as a Ajit Association, because he only used to talk to me all the time. Sometimes Sedhuri sir, Association of Self-Financing Arts, Science, Management Colleges of Tamil Nadu. This is a simple question. Coimbatore is active. It should be only for all for Tamil Nadu. The secretariat கேட்டாங்க நம்ம ஒரு request போச்சு பார்த்தீங்களா representation to syndicate. இவங்க தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் இருக்கிறாங்க, ஏன் பாரதியார் யூனிவர்சிட்டியை மட்டும் குறி வைக்கிறாங்க? Why they have not, in a court case வந்தது பார்த்தீங்களா, court case வந்தது. Why they have not bothered about other universities? மெட்ராஸ் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் என்ன கேட்டீங்க? மெட்ராஸ் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் இருக்குது, அண்ணா யூனிவர்சிட்டியும் இருக்குது. பட் வாட் அபவுட் மதுரை காமராஜ் யூனிவர்சிட்டி, காரைக்குடி அழகப்பா யூனிவர்சிட்டி? இந்த கொஸ்டின்லாம் கேட்பாங்க இப்போ உங்கள்கிட்ட. எனக்கு அசம்பிளிக்கு போகணும், அதனால கொஞ்சம் ஆக்டிவாகி அங்கேயும் கொஞ்சம் கேட்டுருங்க.
கேள்வி கேட்கறது அங்கேயும் சேர்த்து கேளுங்கிறார் ரஜித், அவ்வளவுதான்.
ஆமா, ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ண லெட்டர் எல்லா விசிக்கு அனுப்பி விட்டுருங்க. Atleast when the higher education department is asking the vice chancellor of that university, yes, there is a request there also. He forwarded your request.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Now the ball is in your court.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Subramaniam, please.
Yes, sir. A very good morning to all the dignitaries in this discussion connect network. First, I thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. P. Kaliraj, Vice Chancellor, Bardiyar University, for sharing more than 1.5 hours with his valuable time with us during this pandemic and COVID critical situation. And sir made very clear we need to do a lot of changes in the academic as well as in the technology wise. And he made us very clear that change is permanent. And he mentioned Education 4 and Education 5, which are going to take part in the near future. So we thank him for his support, motivation, suggestions, and patiently answering all our queries, also sharing his views and his vision with us. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable time and your ideas. And I thank the registrar and Dr. Murugan sir and beloved controller, Dr. Vijay Raghavan sir and Dr. Devi madam and CDC madam and the other members from Bardiyar University with us in this discussion connect digital meet. And it is a time to thank our Association of Self-Financing Arts, Science and Management College of Tamil Nadu, ASF, ASM, President Dr. Ajit sir and Secretary Sri Sethupathi sir and other dignitaries of office bearers of the association for the need of our webinar. It is a kind of discussion you made us so that most of the queries from the principal side got cleared. And whatever the queries we have, as our beloved, our Honorable Vice Chancellor mentioned, we can send it through mail. Sir is there to very eagerly answering all our queries. So thank you very much for the association. And I thank all the members of the management patterns for their active participation throughout this discussion meet and their presence on this. And finally, on behalf of all the principals of Bardiyar University, and all the participant principals, all the members, I thank very much for their participation and patience. Thank you very much, one and all, for this wonderful digital meet. Thank you very much, President Sir. Over to President Sir. Ajit Sir.
So thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. We can have this as this is a meeting which is very, very cost-effective, VC sir. Even we can have, if this lockdown continues, we can even think of having one more session so that this will also keep all the principals and secretaries in a good motivating mood, sir.
Sure.
Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, sir.
It can go even after COVID lockdown, no?
Yeah, the
Yes,
distance will be
can go.
minimized. The distance
Yes, sir.
between the affiliated institution, the university will be minimized.
Yes, sir.
And you can also bring out some of the small, problems that you are having, which you can't tell traveling from your institute to these things. You are welcome.
Yes, sir.
We can make it like a monthly meeting.
Yes, sir. That will be great.
But
Monthly
we
meeting
have
will be great.
our autonomous institution, then aided and government colleges also there.
Because it's easy. So now we have got 4 districts secretaries and principal on the show. So it becomes very easy and very convenient for everyone to share their whatever they want to express, they can share it. Sir.
I hope you record it and you please send it
Yes,
to me.
sir.
I will put it to our TNVC. We have a group site. All vice chancellors will see. Governor will also see and governor secretary. I'll
Yes,
just
sir.
put it into that.
It is recorded, sir. It will be shared to you in another 10-15 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can close it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.